best offer of the year, but it's only for a limited time. See your local Ford dealer now.
Good evening, I'm Mark Spang.
And I'm Susan Parks.
A Vietnam veterans reunion turned somber following 2 deaths. Kokomo authorities are investigating and trying to figure out how 4 other people got sick. A live report coming up.
General Motors and union negotiators for inland fisher guide workers take their differences to the bargaining table.
From all walks of life, these folks are raising money to find a cure for AIDS.
This is WTHR, Channel 13, Indianapolis. Live from Indiana's News Channel, Mark Spain, Susan Parks, Pat Carlini's AccuWeather forecast, and Dave Calabro's sports.
A weekend reunion turns deadly along a highway in Kokomo.
2 women attending a Vietnam veterans get-together died from carbon monoxide poisoning.
The women were inside their RV camper. 4 other people were taken to the hospital, overcome by fumes. Our Chris Prophet joins us live now from Kokomo with more on this very tragic story. Chris?
Yes, it is. Susan, the victims were here in Kokomo, as you said, for a large Vietnam Veterans Memorial that takes place every year here in Kokomo around this time. The bodies of 2 women were found shortly before 1 o'clock this afternoon inside a recreational vehicle behind the Ramada Inn. There was a campsite set up in that area. According to police, it does appear that the 2 women died of carbon monoxide poisoning. It's believed that the carbon monoxide leaked from a generator inside the RV.
Time around 12:30, whatever, some of us were sitting over here by the beer tent, and some lady come running, yelling she needed a medic. So eventually we just dropped our stuff and we ran over to this trailer. And the door was open, we ran inside, and there was bodies laying on the floor.
Carbon monoxide is odorless and tasteless. Now, 4 other people inside the motorhome at the time were also overcome by fumes. They've been taken to a local hospital. Police say the 2 were unconscious. The names of the victims have not been released. The RV was registered, though, in Lake County, and some witnesses say the people were from Crown Point. Thousands of people attended this reunion set up behind the Ramada Inn, and it is one of the largest Vietnam veterans reunions of its kind in the country, and of course today it was marred by this tragedy. Susan?
Certainly. And you mentioned that some folks believe that these 2 women are from Crown Point, Indiana?
That is the latest that we have. Some of it's very sketchy. Most of the people at the time had already left that attended this reunion. About 95% of the people had already gone home. What we were told, though, was that, at least from some of the witnesses here, that it appeared that these people had actually set a hose up behind this, or attached to this, well, actually to the motorhome, and so the fumes apparently somehow got into the motorhome overnight. For about 8 hours, these fumes had been leaking inside of the motorhome from this generator, and of course these people were overcome by this morning. They were found, fortunately, for the rest of the people in there in time before they too would have died from this carbon monoxide poisoning. We'll of course have a lot more for you on this tragic story coming up tonight at 11 o'clock.
Oh, okay, Chris, we'll get more from you then. Thank you. Mark?
General Motors and UAW negotiators are talking in Anderson, but workers are wondering whether all the talk is doing any good. The inland fisher guide workers met today for the first time since threatening to strike. Rich Van Wyk has their story.
1 month ago, these Anderson General Motors workers voted to strike if negotiators couldn't come up with a new contract. Although union officials say they are still optimistic about averting a strike, union members say
there's likelihood of a strike going on.
I think it's pretty favorable. I really do.
We don't know. Don't know.
Inland Fisher Guide makes taillight and headlight assemblies, as well as an assortment of plastic and rubber-like body parts for General Motors vehicles. Health and safety issues are concerns of the 3,400 workers, but job security is what they talk about most.
We've been talking about more or less outsourcing of jobs, and then our jobs going to Mexico is the main concern.
I want to see jobs not being sourced out and shipped to Mexico, because I want my kids to have a future here in Anderson, same as me.
24 assembly plants depend on parts made here in Anderson. A strike could cripple the automaker and lead to shutdowns across the country in a matter of days. That's what happened when General Motors workers walked out in Lordstown, Ohio over similar issues. Many hoped their new contract would prevent strikes here as well as other plants.
Their problems are their problems and our problems are our problems, and whereas there are similarities, there are great differences too, so you can't really make a comparison between Lordstown and us.
Rich Van Wyck, News Center 13.
Contract talks are underway at other plants as well. The local UAW officials say the international headquarters just gave workers in Lansing, Michigan, permission to strike if negotiators can't reach a settlement there. The union representing Allison gas turbine workers is trying to convince a top GM executive to take the Indianapolis Divisions for Sale sign down. A GM vice president who visited the aircraft engine manufacturer last week says, however, the automaker still wants to sell Allison to raise cash for its North American car business. Last month, the union leaders suggested they and Allison reopen talks on their labor agreement if GM makes a long-term commitment to own Allison.
Vice President Dan Quayle is acknowledging tonight that joining the Indiana National Guard sharply reduced his chances of being sent to Vietnam. However, on NBC's Meet the Press, Quayle denied that strings were pulled on his behalf, and he renewed his attack on Bill Clinton's explanation of how he avoided the military.
What I'm trying to tell Bill Clinton is he does need to come clean with the American people. The issue is not his avoiding military service. That is not the issue. As a matter of fact, most of the people of our generation didn't have any military service. So he's with the majority, I'm with the minority that has any military service. He simply will not come clean. He needs to tell the American people the truth on the issue. I don't know why he doesn't want to put this behind him.
The vice president dismissed suggestions that he hasn't been truthful about why he joined the Indiana National Guard back in 1969. A new poll suggests that Dan Quayle may be dragging down President Bush's re-election support in the state. The poll by the Fort Wayne Journal-Gazette shows that 18%, or rather 19% of the registered voters responding say that they're likely to vote for Clinton because Quayle is on the Republican ticket. On the other hand, 14% said that Quayle's presence makes them more likely to vote for Bush. The margin of error is 4%.
Some 1,500 people gave up part of their Sunday to help raise money to find a cure for AIDS. Walkers who took part in the Indiana AIDS Walk 92 expect to raise $100,000 to be used for direct services to people with AIDS and HIV. From all walks of life was the theme for this year's fundraiser.
Everybody's here today because they're concerned and they now realize that AIDS doesn't discriminate, HIV doesn't discriminate. This is something that we all need to be worried about.
Walkers began today's 5K at Military Park and afterwards benefited from a community health fair.
Well, they just got out of the rain, too.
Yeah, just in time.
Yeah, just ahead, the Space Shuttle Endeavour wraps up its 8-day historic mission, bringing back new creatures for scientific study.
And speaking of creatures, how does a maggot crispy or a plant hopper pizza sound? We'll tell you about a place for the true bug lover. Stay with us.
Ruby Jacobson, cancer patient.
Just outside my door, the nurses were really busy, which is typical of nurses. And there I was, glad the tests were over, glad the news was good. I was going home, getting on with my life. I felt great.
Hi, kids. Hi. Big day, huh?
Yeah. But a few hours earlier, waiting to find out, I was scared. Scared the cancer had come back. And somehow my nurse knew it. Busy as she was, she put her duties aside and made me believe everything would be all right. Later, when she found out the good news, I could see the relief in her eyes and the happiness she felt for me.
For someone who cares, call Cancer Treatment Centers of America. 1-800-842-0500.
At Cancer Treatment Centers, they're never too busy to be a friend.
Could it be? For me.
No. Come on, Dad.
It's my mechanic.
Oh.
Maybe he wants to know what to wear to the dance on Saturday.
Dad, come on.
Hi, Mike.
Come on. I don't know, Dad. He never gets a call. I don't understand. Dad.
Let there be monsters. Let there be mud. Let there be 4x4 fun. Ford Trucks present the Penda 4-Wheel Off-Road Jamboree at the Indiana State Fairgrounds, September 25th through the 27th. Save cash. Get discount tickets at Nationwide Auto Parts today. A part of the BF Goodrich TA Tires Performance Series.
United Nations planes are resuming flights to Sarajevo. UN officials say that flights could begin as soon as this week. Troops are already loading planes with relief provisions. UN officials announced yesterday that the Sarajevo airport will be reopened to humanitarian flights despite the continued shelling in the area. A drastic shortage of supplies and the onset of winter there is outweighing the danger of the flights. The emergency airlifts were suspended when an Italian transport plane was shot down over Croat and Muslim territory on September 3rd. Meanwhile, the United Nations has begun the first airdrops of relief food into remote areas of Somalia to help some of the more than 2 million starving people there. 28 tons of grain were dropped in an isolated northwest area of Somalia where several village children die each day. Desperation has grown so great, villagers spend hours sifting through the dirt for grains that scatter in the drops.
An 8-day mission filled with firsts ends today as the Space Shuttle Endeavour returned safely to Earth. The space crew included the first married couple, the first African-American woman, and the first flight by a professional Japanese astronaut. The mission also marks the first time that creatures other than insects were born and bred in orbit. Overall, NASA declared the Endeavour mission a success. An Indiana woman's fight to stop the dumping of out-of-state trash into state landfills is being showcased on NBC tonight. Terry Moore and several Terre Haute volunteers videotaped the happenings. Moore brought her concerns to lawmakers, including Senator Dan Coates. Coates was instrumental in creating a bill allowing communities to stop the flow of out-of-state trash. The Senate has passed it. The House must still vote.
If they kill it here, I'll be back and fight for it again. It's just an injustice that we in Indiana have to accept somebody else's trash when we're trying to deal with our own environmental problems, and they try to solve theirs by shipping it to Indiana. I'm just not going to let that happen.
Eyewitness video airs on Channel 13 tonight at 7 o'clock.
Well, some surprises in the NFL today, some upsets. Dave Calabro has all of the game day highlights headed your way in sports.
But first, Pat Carlini returns from the islands to bring us the work week outlook. Her AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.
If it's this easy to spin on a bald surface, why would you drive on worn tires? Use your Marathon credit card for new tires and get 6 months to pay interest-free. When you buy one of our high-performance Aggressor batteries with your Marathon credit card, you'll get a real charge out of it because you get 0% financing and 6 months to pay.
My job is to drive this race car fast. At the speeds I travel, I can't afford to wear glasses that slide down my nose. I go to LensCrafters because they have so many ways to make glasses fit better, like silicone nose pads that keep my glasses from slipping. And their exclusive featherweights are the lightest glasses I've ever worn. As a race car driver, my life depends on the choices I make. That's why for a perfect fit, I choose LensCrafters. Better fit for greater comfort in about an hour.
Why settle for everyday prices when you can have sale prices? At the Highland Beat the Competition sale. Take this Amana refrigerator. Highland's sale price is $62 less than Fretter. Our sale price on this Pioneer stereo system is $71 less than H.H. Gregg. Just two examples of the great sale prices at the Highland Beat the Competition sale now through Monday. Hurry, because prices like these don't come along every day.
The Dodge Factory Authorized Clearance. Get up to $41.72 total savings on Ram half-tons. If you want both savings and power, this is the truck for you. Drop an available new Magnum V8 into a Ram 150 and you'll get more horsepower than Ford and Chevy's 5-liter V8s. See the Dodge dealer nearest you for the new Dodge you'll want to put in your garage.
I want to welcome back Pat Carlini, the newly married Pat Carlini. She has a nice glow about her, don't you think?
It's my sunburn.
That's right, honeymooning, skipping all over the islands in the tropics.
Yeah, it is rather hot, so that's a little bit of sunburn that you see glowing there. A few more
won't
freckles.
have to worry about that here.
No, no. Yes,
tonight.
I come back, leave all that hot weather to see you folks, of course, and all of you. And it's cold here. It's only 50 degrees this morning, and rain now is out there, and more is on the way. We'll show you that on the radar here, you can see where the rain is coming up from the southwest. There's a lot of rain in Missouri, and I'll show you that map in a moment. And that rain is being pumped into Indiana. It's coming here tonight, overnight tonight, and even through tomorrow as well. Well, let's take a little look at the islands here. I brought back some video. I shot this myself, guys, so take a look at this. Yeah, and this is my husband, John, that is water skiing. Watch this end of the water skiing here. I thought you might enjoy seeing this. Look at the pro. Whoa, head first into the ocean we go. That's a little bit of the coast there of the island of Antigua, about 1,300 miles off the coast, the shore there of Miami. So that's way out there, and boy, it is hot too. Here's what we had today, 66 right now. 81% is the humidity. The wind's out of the east at 9, barometer 29.84, and that is falling. On the national map tonight, on the national radar map with the satellite photo, you can see where all that rain is. Look at the massive rain, showers, and thunderstorms coming up from the southwest, most of it pushing right now up through Missouri, and that's what's all headed our way. So as you can see, there's plenty of it. Expect about a half to a full inch of rain in any spots of the state overnight tonight and even into tomorrow as well. Here's where it all stems from. This low pressure system is causing quite a change in our weather. Not only is it bringing in some rain, but it's really going to be cooling us off quite a bit as well. Coming up now from Missouri, it's pumping that moisture right into the Hoosier State, and it just will cover us throughout tonight and into tomorrow. Take a look now at tomorrow's map. The low starts to move north and brings out two cold fronts. The first one goes through tomorrow, the second one on Tuesday. By the middle of this week, will only be in the 60s, if we're lucky to stay in the 60s. A big cool down on the way. Fall officially begins on Tuesday, and it's certainly going to feel like it. Look at the temperature map for tomorrow. Well, still okay. We're in the 70s for tomorrow yet, and you can see where the cold air is still to the north moving our way. Only a high of 50s for tomorrow, some of the northern tier states. So big cool down coming up by Wednesday and Thursday. In the meantime, some rain to deal with. Here's your forecast for tonight. Now, rain around, maybe even a thunderstorm or two, 62 degrees for the low. For tomorrow, more showers in store for us. Another thunderstorm chance in the afternoon, 75 for the high tomorrow, still a little on the cool side. The next few days, we're looking at temperatures in the 70s, and then we drop off to just the 60s towards the middle of the week, bouncing back a little bit by Friday to 72 degrees. But my, what a cool down, huh? Fall begins Tuesday afternoon, and it's certainly going to feel like it.
You leave all that nice tropical weather and
well,
come
I
back
missed you guys. I missed that's what it was.
Right. What'd you like best about that part of the
Well, that part
world?
is very desolate. There's not much out there, so if you're ever going to make a trip,
the water, though, is so blue.
You can see right through it.
White
Very
sand.
clear. Yeah, a lot of white sand, pristine beaches, but very tropical, just plush and coral reef, and nothing out there.
And you went snorkeled for the first time.
I snorkeled, yeah. I saw all the underwater world, too. And it did rain there a couple times. We had a tropical wave move by, and boy, when it rains there, you want to get out of the way. Yeah,
all
you
right.
run fast.
Okay.
Well, welcome
So,
back.
Thank you. It's nice to be
Glad
home.
to have you home.
Okay.
Thanks.
Dave Calabro is coming your way next with the Sunday Sports Final. Stay with us.
Yes.
What an extraordinary year for Buick. The legendary quality of LeSabre, named a Best Buy by both Consumers Digest and Motor Trend. It now comes with up to $1,000 cash back or 3.9 financing for up to 48 months that can save you thousands. USA Today reports Buick Regal and Buick Century place in the top 10 of a renowned quality survey. Regal beat both Camry and Accord and was ranked best in its price class. It now comes with up to $1,500 cash back direct to you. Buick Park Avenue, world-class luxury without the luxury car tax. Named the best value automobile all price and model categories. Now it's year-end closeout time. The new car buying opportunity smart shoppers wait for. It's here. Take advantage of giant year-end cashbacks and individual dealer discounts. Hurry into your nearest Central Indiana Buick dealer, and you'll drive away the quality of Buick for less.
Introducing the Great American Cheeseburger with an Italian accent. It's Wendy's new 99-cent Junior Mozzarella Cheeseburger. It's a thick slice of rich mozzarella melted on top of Wendy's fresh beef. And to make it even more delicious, we created a zesty Italian herb sauce. Wendy's 99-cent Junior Mozzarella Cheeseburger, a delicious new addition to Wendy's 99-cent super value menu. Okay, Dave, you're on.
It's amore.
The transition from adolescence to adulthood is a difficult journey for many teens. Peer pressure, school stress, depression, and substance abuse can threaten a teen's future. Bloomington Meadows Hospital helps with a program designed to address the problems of a troubled teen. Our caring professionals challenge the mind, body, and spirit, creating a healthy new sense of direction and self-confidence. Giving young people a chance to achieve full potential is what the Bloomington Meadows program is all about. Ignoring teen problems won't help them disappear. Call Bloomington Meadows Hospital.
The rain held off just long enough to get the last rounds in.
Yeah, the GTE North Classic. What a fantastic golf tournament it was. Raymond Floyd, he definitely loves Indianapolis, and he loves the Broadmoor Country Club golf course. Today, the 50-year-old became the first golfer to ever win on the regular and senior circuit in the same year. He began the day with a one-stroke lead over Kermit Zarley, but on the backside, Floyd went on a birdie binge. Here he misses for an eagle right here, but gets the easy birdie. Mike Hill also went to work on the 13th. He's rolling in a long-distance putt to sneak up on Floyd. One stroke back, but Raymond's game was too strong all afternoon long. On the 17th, chipping for another eagle, and he's going to leave himself an easy birdie, and he moves to 16 under for the tourney. Quite a greeting coming up the final fairway. Thousands of fans there. He hits the last birdie to win it. It was 17 under par.
I didn't get a feeling the tournament was mine until I made the putt at the 17th hole. If I don't birdie 17, I'm only one up playing the last hole. You know, in this game, golf can have, you can make bogey and the other guy makes birdie and you're done. So I didn't really feel comfortable until the 18th I mean 17th after I made the birdie.
And check this out. Floyd has donated his entire $67,000 prize money to the Florida Hurricane Relief Fund. Boy, that is quite a move. Yeah, give that guy a hand. Well, we're just about a half hour away from the Colts-Bills Sunday night matchup. Of course, plenty has been made about Coach Ted Marchibroda's first return to his old stomping grounds, but he's in no mood to treat this as a sentimental journey.
Just so much time and emotion spent in preparing your ball club, you don't think about the other aspect of it. It's, as I say, it was a great run in Buffalo, and it was a great 5 years. I went to school just an hour outside of Buffalo, so it's great from that aspect, but you don't have any time to think about that aspect. You really don't.
Buffalo's always they're the premier team right now in the our division, and it would be we haven't had much success up at Rich Stadium. We're looking forward to a good game. I think we've got a much better defense this year, and we're going to be ready for them.
And sports director Don Hine is in Buffalo. We'll have a report from him at Rich Stadium tonight, 11 o'clock. Hey, a rough day for starting quarterbacks around the NFL. Minnesota's Rich Gannon, Tampa Bay's Vinny Testaverde, and Green Bay's Don Majkowski all went down to injury, but the Packers made do with their backup. In Green Bay, they steal a game from the Bengals. Watch this, the final play of the game. Brent Favre to Kittrick Taylor. He hits him with 13 seconds left. Favre celebrates his 35-yard strike. David Shula bums out. The Bengals lose a heartbreaker. The Chiefs in Houston. Casey ties it up with 25 seconds left. Tom McNair scores to force the OT, but Al Del Greco and the Oilers end up winning this one. The chip shot field goal is good. 23-20. Warren Moon celebrates. Battle between two winless teams. The Seahawks at New England. Hugh Millen, his first and only TD of the season. Irving Fryar pulls it in, but Seattle wins this one. Scoreboard for you now. The Bengals move to 2-1. Steelers beating the Chargers. Oilers move to 2-1. Seattle with their first win. Browns about to get their first win. Hey, go Brownies. Dolphins over the Rams. And the Colts a 19-point underdog to Buffalo. Take the points. In the NFC, the Jets picked apart by the great one, Randall Cunningham. 3 TD strikes. This one to Fred Barnett. And this game's getting out of hand. John Elway and the Broncos simply embarrassed. They had 82 yards of total offense. The Niners and Cool Joe facing the Jets today. Steve Young, the starter for San Fran. He hits a pair of TD strikes. This one 23 yards to Jerry Rice. The Niners roll. Costly win, though. John Taylor goes down with a broken leg. Look at the shot. Major hit early on. Viking country, Minnesota facing the undefeated Buccaneers. Great day for wide receiver Chris Carter. He pulls at a pair of TDs. The Vikings sneak past Tampa Bay. On the scoreboard, Denver shut out for the first time since '88. Cowboys rolling over Phoenix. Saints win. Morton Anderson with a field goal. Niners all over the Jets. Vikes beat Tampa by the score of 26-20. Redskins blanked the Lions. That one just ended 13-0. And New York Giants, Chicago play on Monday Night Football. In baseball, the Phillies definitely out of the pennant race, but their second baseman made history today with an unassisted triple play. Now check it out. The Pirates' Jeff King at the plate. Hit and run is on. Mickey Morandini makes the snag, tags the runner and the base for 2 outs. Everybody was going. It's the first unassisted triple play in the National League in 65 years. Only the 9th time it's happened in the majors, but Philly lost the ball game. On the scoreboard, there it is. The Buccos in 13, 3-2. Expos fail to take advantage of that loss. Braves hammer Houston 16-1, and the Reds win over San Diego 6-1 your final. American League, Texas and Milwaukee both winners. The Twins and A's doing the same thing, 4-2 in the 7th and 4-1 also in the 7th. Meantime, on the NASCAR racing circuit, a wild ride at the Peak 500. Here's what I mean. This one got ugly for quite a while. Dick Trickle right here hits the wall, sets off a big chain reaction crash. About a half dozen guys taken out of the race. When the smoke cleared, Ricky Rudd won it by 41/100ths of a second over Bill Elliott. Kyle Petty came in 3rd. Big story once again, Raymond Floyd wins the GTE North Classic, 17 under.
And a classy guy.
Yeah, donated the
money.
Yeah. Wow.
Today was his son's 18th birthday, and everybody was going, maybe he'll give that money to his son
Get a new
for his
car.
college graduation, you know, for his college.
And he gives it to the hurricane.
Yeah, he said he felt moved to do that.
That's
nice.
great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
What a move.
Yeah.
Thanks,
well, when
Dad.
we come back, we're going to have a story that will really bug you. Don't go away.
I want to see that.
Meet Daytime Talk's new star,
She's a wicked little minx, isn't she?
Vicki Lawrence.
I suppose you're going to tell the whole world about my secrets or something. Hey, I was under the covers with you. You got no secrets from me.
She's got her own way of talking.
Let's cut to the interesting stuff. Let's talk about the sex scene.
That's going to lighten your day.
It's not proper to do that. Please don't do that, Vicki.
It's the talk show everyone's soon to be talking about.
Well, for heaven's sake.
Vicki.
Vicki, weekday mornings at 10 on 13 WTHR.
When I told my wife I was selling 10 pieces of KFC chicken for $5.99, she said I was loony. When I told my brother I was selling 10 big pieces of delicious chicken for $5.99, he said I was bonkers. But when I told the people of Lake Edna that I was selling 10 pieces of chicken for $5.99, they said I was a genius.
10 pieces of original recipe, just $5.99. A great deal in Lake Edna or your neck of the woods.
I'm not dumb. I know what Weight Watchers is doing with this big half-off deal. They get you in there with this incredible deal. Teach you how to eat right, get you looking great, really slender. Oh, the best you've ever looked. And then you go out and walk around and people come up to you and they say, oh, how did you do that? And you say, Weight Watchers. And bingo, you've become this free, walking, talking advertisement for them. Want to know where to sign up?
Join for just $14. Offer ends September 26th.
Can you believe what you read? Can you believe 2.9% financing on the best full-size pickup in America, saving you almost $3,000? $1,500 cash back on Family Circle's Family Car of the Year, Chevy Lumina? 2.9% financing or up to $1,500 cash back on Geo? Well, believe the savings, but believe fast because closeout deals on 5,000 cars and trucks end September 23rd. Visit your local Chevy Geo dealer before September 23rd while the selection is unbelievable.
Finally tonight, it's an invasion of insects in Iowa as folks there celebrated the annual Bug Festival. This year's event offers a variety of events for true bug lovers. Sampling of bug treats, things like maggot Krispies and plant hopper pizza. Also on tap, a petting zoo featuring beetles and cockroaches.
So they eat them and then they go to the petting zoo?
That's
oh, nice
right.
little bug.
Hey, go figure, you know?
Ruined my appetite.
All right.
We're out of time for this Sunday, everybody. See you back here at 11.
Take care.
That is cruel.
How to build a